Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hi, everybody. Sarah, Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan's reminding us to drink water. But I only have Coke. But look how frosty that looks. You can't tell. When I'm holding it up like this, it's shining through the light. My studio lights. And, hi, Toots. And it looks delicious. It looks exactly like you want a Coca-Cola to look like. Woo! KCC is wild and manic. Sometimes, Billy. I'm just kidding. But I like that name. You guys know that I broke my original cup. But instead of ordering new ones, I held off. And I found these at Walmart for $1.47. Thank you, Walmart gods. Thank you, Walmart Jesus. I don't know what, is it Sam Walton? Anyways. I hope everybody's doing well. I apologize that we were off yesterday, but I'm glad that we're back today. I've worked all day. I'm pretty fucking tired, to be honest with you. But let's make it happen. We are back. Oh, yeah, right. That's right. I had to go back and find out where we were in this case. Turns out the judge was just taking a break. If you're just joining us, this is a CPS case out of Texas. It's an initial removal, and these can be a little bit distressing, so please keep that in mind. Obviously, your mental health comes first, so prioritize that. But on the same note, different note. Judge, hold on. On a different note, I'll give you a small recap of the case. Dad has had the child removed. Mom has passed away many years ago, so she's not in the picture. Dad has alleged that his positive drug tests were caused by somebody breaking into his home and then drugging his food. Yeah, you heard that. And possibly he ran out of Tylenol. Haven't we all? And then he bought some Tylenol off somebody, but it turns out that might have also had meth in it. Who'd have known? I've never got Tylenol with meth in it before. Crazy. It's crazy work around here. Anyways, so back over to Texas, where we are. So the judge was taking a break. Also, the other thing to note is that this gentleman does not want to be on YouTube. Whoops. Oopsies. 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 Vicky might be modding solo tonight because Cellulite Yoga Pants is off on a trip, a family trip. So thank you, Vicky. Appreciate that. I'm here too. I am the ultimate original mod. Oh, ma'am, are you laughing at me?
Okay, if we can start getting everybody back together and on screen.
Was she laughing at me? I am the OG mod to my own channel. Everybody filter on in now. Hi, 007.
All right,
Bond.
then.
James Bond. Oh,
Um,
Judge.
Mr.
Creme
Hill,
de la
any
Mustard.
questions?
Judge, I'm sure I do. Ms. Goodman, is it possible to, could you read back the last question I asked? I kind of lost my train of thought.
The last question was, and do you know when that time was? I know you said the admission was on May 8th, but do you know when that was that he was taking the pills? And then she was checking her notes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I couldn't find exactly that day, but it was like he went to get tested on the 5th, probably. That's between the 1st and the 5th of May.
Okay, so you don't know.
No, sir.
Okay.
Don't remember.
And you also, if I understood you correctly, you don't know when Mr. Otero Bunker's mother was in the pavilion. Is that right?
She was after she went from left the house on the 26th
26th of what?
of April.
Okay.
She went to stay at the motel for 2 days, and then she came back to the house, and is what she told me. She had another argument with her son, and she has a neighbor in the back who lives in the back of the house to give her a ride to the pavilion.
So she left. The child's grandmother, Mr. Otero Bunker's mother, left the house by her admission on April 26th to a motel for 2 days, then came back to the house. So that would be the 28th or so, give or take.
It can be possible.
Okay,
That
28th,
was when
29th.
Mhm.
And then you're saying at that point, your understanding is she went to the pavilion at that point?
Is what she told me. She came back to the house and got another argument about money or something, about the rent money, and she decided to go to the pavilion.
Rent is a bitch. I tell you that. Rent's a bitch. Oh my god. You know what? Cocaine chicken carbonara is one of my favorite dishes. Allegedly. Allegedly. If you're just getting here, thanks for being here. Hi, Lindsay. Welcome. This gentleman, well, he's off screen. I hate that. He just drops off screen all the time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's making me talk with a bit of an accent. That's how out of control it is.
And she was there for how long?
She was there for days. From there, on the 16th of May, she was transferred from the pavilion to Senacor.
So she was at the pavilion until May 16th, and she went directly to Senacor.
Yes.
And the child was with Brittany this whole time, right? Because the child went to Brittany's on May 8th.
Yes, sir.
And the child remained with Brittany until the child was removed on May 27th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'll
Oh, Beverly, I think you would make a great mod. I'll remember to do it later. Remember, though, being a mod here is very different than being a mod anywhere else. I specifically don't want you to do mod tasks like other channels do. You know how it is. But you would, of course, make a great mod. Actually, all of you guys that are here would be very... No, I'm not taking away yours, Vicky. First of all, you're all amazing ambassadors, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being so kind and welcoming in the chat when new people come by. That's honestly why I don't worry too much about needing oodles of mods. It's not that I don't value that, it's just that it's a different thing around here. I do encourage bad behavior. We don't censor people, and we don't delete comments. And honestly, the amount of times like that happens accidentally when you have a lot of mods is actually just too much for me. People are always like, oh, well, oops, I timed somebody out in my pocket. And I'm not talking about here. That one time happened with, what's it called? Cellulite Yoga Pants phone going nuts. But I just am saying there are reasons why we don't have the same sort of mods. But part of that is because we have Streamlabs and a very robust link sharing part of that. And I would love it if you guys kept up with that and we figured out a way to like remember some of the commands. I think there's like 300 at some point. Anyways, I love you guys though. Seriously. So I will address... Vicky, oh, you guys are so sweet. Anyways, okay, let's move on. I just want you all to know that I love you all. And, except for Anthony on the screen up here. I'm not loving him. Oh my God, Vicky, or Beverly, I read that and I thought you just said, Vicky, my boyfriend's cock got possessed. And I thought, we need to stop this show and talk to Bev for a couple minutes. Because that sounds fucking insane. But it's just the clock, and I'm less interested in that, although a little bit interested. I shit you not. And that is not something that would normally come from Beverly's mouth, so I just was like, ah! But like, yeah, couldn't that be a good thing? I think it would be. All right, let's continue on this case.
pass witness.
All right, and Ms. Zavala, you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. So Ms. Ellis, you were talking about previous CPS involvement with this family. In the records, when you went through and reviewed it, is there a pattern of when CPS gets involved, Isaiah being sent to go live with Miss Denny?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
after the case is closed, he's brought back to live with Dad.
What I recall is that he was back home and Mr. Otero Bunker and his mother, Frances Newton, worked some services. But the case was closed while the child was with them.
Okay, so there's a pattern of CPS being called, Isaiah being sent to Miss Denny, and then the case closing because Isaiah is now with somebody else.
Yes.
Okay, and then there's another call, and then Isaiah gets sent to Miss Denny, and the case closes.
Yes.
Okay, so when you were talking to Miss Denny about being a long-term placement, was her concern, I'd love to be long-term placement, but he keeps going back, that there's no legal orders in place for Miss Denny to keep Isaiah there.
Is what she said. So,
Okay, and so that's why she felt she couldn't be a long-term placement.
yes, because it was gonna happen the same thing, is
Okay.
what she says.
And you had set up a meeting to try to meet with Dad and Miss Denny to see about one of these safety plans, and at that point, Dad wasn't cooperating.
No, ma'am. He was postponing. I want to say that one day he told me on the on the 12th of May, we were supposed to meet, and he said that he wasn't feeling well. So we wait for a while, but he never met with us.
So while Miss Denny may have interest in keeping Isaiah there until there's some sort of legal order, she's not comfortable being placement.
It's what she told me.
Okay. So at the time that this removal happened, there was no place that he could continue staying. Is that right?
Can you please repeat the question?
It wasn't a very good question, and that's okay. Actually, I'm just gonna withdraw that question and pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Groff.
I just had Ms. Zavala asked some of my redirect. I just had one question for you, Ms. Ellis. You said you looked at a list of dates for law enforcement call outs. Was there something more recent as this week, that you're aware of a call out being made? If you don't know, that's fine.
The last one was on June 12th, 2025.
Okay, that's what you have in your records then. Thank you. Pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Hill.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Zavala.
No further questions.
All right then. Mr. Groff, you have another witness?
I have I'd like to call Ms. Brown just for like one or two questions if she's still with us. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, she is. Okay. Ms. Brown, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. You're the SFM supervisor, St. Francis supervisor, who's assigned to this case. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And when did y'all get assigned for the ongoing casework?
Oh gosh, it would have been shortly after removal. I don't have the specific date in front of me. I'm sorry.
Okay, but you're familiar with the general facts and circumstances that brought us here today, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you aware of any more recent call outs to Mr. Otero Bunker's home since June 12th?
Yes, sir.
What can you tell the court? What do you know about anything more recent?
Yes, last night, Crystal Potts received a phone call from Mr. Otero Bunker. She's going to be the caseworker when she becomes case assignable. And he had called her stating that his mother had just called the police last night. Apparently, his report was that his mom got upset with him because he tripped over a tray table. And so he ended up taking the TV out of the living room and taking it to his bedroom because he didn't think his mom should be comfortable on the couch watching his TV. Then somebody knocked on his door that was a male. and asked if he was okay. He said yes. He said he didn't open the door, so he wasn't confident that it was the police, but he assumed that it was. The police had asked him if they could work things out as an adult, and he said yes. He said that he called Crystal because he wanted to call who mattered, and probation was probably busy, so he called Crystal. Shortly after that, his mother called our connection specialist, who's working on trying to find some family members for connections for Isaiah. And she had mentioned to her that she did call the police and she wanted help to get out of the home.
Okay. Thank you. Pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Hill, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Zavala?
Why is there an elderly person or a child with him? I'm not liking that. Yeah, he called crystal meth.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Groff, any further witnesses to call?
No, Your Honor, the state rests at this time.
All right, Mr. Hill.
Judge, may I have a breakout room with Mr. Otero Bunker?
Certainly.
Denied. Absolutely denied.
Okay.
Hi, Barry P. Hi.
I'm going to move y'all to
Oh.
put you in room 2.
Also, Jonathan, what are you going to tell the truth about tonight? What are you going to tell? Oh my God, she does not have any shoulders. That's not the type of shirt she should wear. For some reason, something came up on my feed recently. It was like, if you have do I have broad shoulders? Every time something comes up on my feed, I think to myself, I bet YouTube Daddy and Google Daddy know me better than I know myself. They have thousands of hours of footage. If they send me broad-shouldered shorts, I have to assume that I have broad shoulders. That's the only thing that I can think of. Anyways, this lady should do the opposite in terms of what they suggested for broad-shouldered people to style.
Yes.
The options
And
were vast. Ask you a question. Ask me no more questions and tell me no more lies. A question. Where was your last vacation?
Heard the testimony from CPS and from the probation officers.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with their assessment that
Testimony you'll give.
Mr.
Hold on. I got distracted by Jonathan asking me to ask him questions. Listen, I ask questions all the time, and then somebody says, ask me a question, and I'm all flustered. But, what was I going to say? We need to see this guy take his oath. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to raise your right hand at home. Pensacola, Florida. Aww. Love it. I want to go back to Florida. Or Vegas, I guess.
Otero, I'd like to call Mr. Otero Bunker, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Otero Bunker, if you'll raise your right hand for me.
Yeah, I have to put my left hand on the Bible, so. Here, I
Right.
got.
Okay, what a douche nozzle. I'm so glad I went back. Let's watch him do this again. Let's watch him do this again. He's gonna balance a Bible. This guy's so full of shit. I swear to God. He's pissing me off already. I swear to God.
Mr. Otero Bunker, if you'll raise your right hand for me.
Yeah, I have to put my left hand on the Bible, so. Here, I
Right,
got my
sir.
Bible right here.
All right, sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, and in the name of God and myself, yes.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Otero Bunker, you have been at this hearing the entire time, is that right?
Yes,
And you've heard the testimony from CPS and from the probation officers.
yes, sir.
Do you agree with their assessment that, well, it would be CPS's assessment. Do you agree with CPS's assessment that your child is not safe in your home?
No, I don't agree with that.
What portion of their testimony do you disagree with?
Some of the statements that have been made by other departments like CPS, probation, are not all true. I did not.
Just a reminder, I don't even need to say this next part is alleged, because remember why he's on probation, folks? He is on a felony probation for injury to a child. He's not Mr. Innocent who's being railroaded. And remember, he thinks somebody broke into his house and fucking drugged his food with fucking meth. Like, it's so absurd, bro. How they've been involved with this family 3 times and not removed this child yet is beyond me.
Say some of those things. I did not do some of those things. I don't want to exactly pinpoint exactly what they are, but I know what I know, and that's the truth.
Okay, well, you mentioned it, and the probation people testified first, so let's talk about that. Basically, Ms. Silvestri talked about that she was the first probation officer you had, and that you met with her, and that you admitted to meth use after, she says you had positive drug tests, and then you admitted to meth and cocaine use. Did you admit to meth and cocaine use to her?
No.
Okay. Do you remember how you responded to her when she said your drug tests were positive?
Yes, I remember.
What did you say?
I said that I had purchased some pills from a friend, and that they could have been laced.
Okay. Ms. Coker, the second probation officer that says she met with you on May 28th, and she claims that you tested positive for meth again on the 28th. Do you remember how you responded to her?
Yes.
And how was that?
Did not.
Absentee fee from MB for me. Thank thee. Thank you so much, MB. That popped up. The sound popped up before the message. I was like, oh man. Hi. So nice to see you. This guy's so full of shit. It's a wonder it's not spewing out of his mouth as he speaks. Ugh. Thank you again, MB.
I didn't know why I'm still getting tested positive, and we worked out a plan to do intake with some type of rehabilitation. They had suggested I forget, Angel something, and I was like, well, what about Synacor? Because I'm familiar with Synacor, and Synacor's here in town, and my son's here in town. So I didn't want to I didn't know if that Angel one was out of town, but I suggested Synacor, and I'm doing everything that I need to do.
Okay. Did they agree to Synacor?
Yes.
Okay. And then, according to Ms. Coker, you had a meeting with her on June 2nd, and you completed basically, I guess, the drug and alcohol assessment. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And according to her, the assessment said that you needed intensive outpatient treatment, and then recommended mental health services with TPC.
Yes.
And have you taken steps towards getting intensive outpatient treatment from Centacor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you complete the admission process on the 20th?
Yes.
And are you scheduled to start the intensive outpatient treatment program?
Yes. I had just gotten a call right before I got on the stream to call back Centacor and speak with this guy Keith about when exactly I'm going to have my
Christopher, you're so sweet. Hi, Mr. Christopher Engleby. You're so sweet to me. Oh my gosh. Is being beautiful your full-time job? You've just brightened my day. Look, you're making me blush. Thank you. You're so sweet. Also, again, Streamlabs swooping in ahead of YouTube. Sound first. It's like thunder and lightning. It's like thunder. No, wait. Which one comes first? Whatever it is, it's like that. Whatever it is, it's like that. Also, this guy, what do you guys think about Mr. Bunker over here? Mr. Bunker. Does he appear like he might reside in a bunker when he's high on meth, allegedly? In my opinion.
meetings, one-on-ones or groups or whatever they decide.
Okay, so they haven't exactly told you what the first date of whatever is going to be yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay, they just said we're getting it organized and getting it ready.
Yes.
Okay, you plan to do that and follow through with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And also, I did receive a call back yesterday from TPC that I was planning on calling back today. So hopefully we can, before the close of business today, I can call them also.
Okay, so you reached out to TPC as was recommended as well.
Yes, sir.
So regarding placement with Brittany Denny, did you why did you place Isaiah with Brittany?
I was in fear that child services was going to get involved after there was calls to the police.
Okay. Did you feel like Isaiah was in any danger at your house, or you just felt like it'd be better if he wasn't there?
It'd be better because I just felt safer that if something did happen and someone called the police, that he wouldn't be here to be like, oh, there's a child in the home, and so.
Okay. Now regarding his safety, when these pills that potentially could have been laced with something, when did that episode take place? When did that happen?
When did what happen again?
The pills that you got from a friend?
That had to be before the 5th of May, so I believe that was the 4th.
Okay.
I really went balls out for Cinco de Mayo this year, Judge. So I went and got those pills from a friend of mine on the 4th of May. I remember because, again, balls out.
And was Isaiah still in the home at that point?
No.
Where was he at that point?
He was with Miss Denny.
Okay. When did he go? When did you place him with Ms. Denny?
It was before May the 4th. I know that. He had been staying the night off and on. Her kids would stay, my kid would stay over there. It was just, we've always, been close friends. And
Okay. So he wasn't in the house when you had the problem with the pills?
no, sir.
Okay. regarding your mother, had she been in the pavilion?
To my recollection, yes.
Okay. And the dates that Ms. Ellis testified to, were those fairly accurate, or do you have reason to dispute those dates?
I would have reason to dispute those dates because I don't know the exact dates of anyone else's stuff but mine.
Okay, well, what are the dates
I don't know of what.
that your mother was in the pavilion?
I don't know. That's not my story to tell.
Okay. What dates was your mother out of the house? Do you remember?
No, sir.
Okay.
I know she's not here today.
To be clear, he thought he was getting Tylenol 3, allegedly, but instead he received some magical meth and cocaine pills that somebody gave him for free without telling him that's what was in it. Yeah, bullshit, right? So yeah, he thought they were T3s, but turns out someone slipped some coke and meth in there. Oh, I hate it when that happens. That's Tylenol 14. And legal fiction, I love that your your comments about him being framed and set up.
Why do you believe that this removal is not proper?
Because there's a lot of stuff in the paperwork that isn't true, that all of a sudden Miss Denny is getting blamed for I don't know what exactly. And it's not anyone's fault but myself. So that I relapsed with alcohol and took some pills that I shouldn't have bought. And now, you know, I'm clean, I'm sober, and I don't understand what the situation is except that I'm working the services that I need to work.
And you think you could work those services with Isaiah in the home, and you think he'd be safe?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a volatile relationship with your mother?
I don't know what the definition of volatile is, but you know, everyone argues.
Okay. Do you think that's a problem for Isaiah when you and your mother are both in the same house?
No, I don't know what the problem is. I know it's not me, so I don't know. I can't speak on her behalf, sir.
Okay. But you don't think there's any danger to Isaiah when the two of you are in the house together, you and your mother?
No.
You said there were some things in the paperwork you disagreed with. Are there any specifics that come to your mind?
Just the whole reasoning of everything, that no one's gotten my side of the story. And now that we're, you know, in a court of law, that I mean, I'll get cross-examined, examined by, you know, the whoever else that needs to ask me questions. And
It's like a child who's spouting an answer about how court works. Cross-examined, ask questions. Like, what is he talking about? What is going on here? Also, him saying it's not my fault is not very helpful. Not very helpful at all.
Okay, so this is, and I think you understand it, but this is your chance to tell your side of the story. Is there anything else that you believe that the judge needs to hear from you?
probably that my mother shouldn't be living in this house
Okay.
at all anymore.
Is it your house or her house?
Well, it's not my house. It is a house that is rented under my name, and it has her as a
tenant?
resident or a tenant, and my son also.
Okay, so you lease or rent the house, but the lease is in your name.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not like you're living in her house, she's living in your house.
Yes, sir. And that's what the police had explained to her, that she can't say who I can have over, and that's why she had called the police. And I don't understand when I explained to her, I don't know what her problem is.
Okay, so if she is problematic to the household, do you have any plans to ask her to leave?
I mean, if a problem arises, then if she doesn't leave, then me and my son would.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, NPC, so sweet. Oh, you're calling me a goddess? I love that. I accept your donation humbly and say thank you. Yay!
Are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work at Diamond Concessions up at Hodgetown Stadium.
Okay, so you're gainfully employed. You have enough money to pay your bills and take care of your son.
Yes.
You have a vehicle that's good and safe for transporting.
Yes, sir.
So if your child needs to go to the doctor or hospital, whatever, you have no problem getting him there.
No, sir, I don't have a problem at all.
Okay, presume you have a cell phone. If the ambulance need to be called, you could make that call.
Yes, sir. I get so confused on where exactly I'm supposed to look. I'm looking at you, and then it's making my eyes look down.
At me? Well, then stop looking at my tits, sir. I have them out for my own reasons. People enjoy it. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you.
Like, do I look straight at the camera? Like,
You look
where
anywhere it makes you comfortable. Go ahead and look. There's no right answer to that one.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you speak. Maybe if I turn it to the side here. Oh, that's better.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else that you want the judge to know that I haven't asked you?
Just that the last thing that I spoke with Keith at Cinecor is saying that I am going to take a UA tomorrow, and I have to go in person to Cinecor tomorrow. So, and I told him I don't have a problem with that, and I will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
And that I hope that if there's any discrepancies on this hearsay, that the witnesses say something now.
Okay. So it sounds like if you're participating with Centacor and trying to participate with TPC, it sounds like you're saying, hey, look, I don't mind working some services, but taking my son away from me while I do it is not the right answer and not appropriate. Is that, am I interpreting the situation correctly?
Yes, sir. And also the reason I've been so, I guess, dodgy or whatever the word is with child services, and now with St. Francis, but I'm smoothing that over, is because I had, once Isaiah was with in Brittany's care, I had said, can we do that Texas law where, you know, she becomes the custodial parent until she decides the right time for me, because she's been my friend for so many years, since October of 2017, that when she has felt that I am good and stable, that she could have, you know, given Isaiah, I guess, just, I mean, I could have revoked it at any time. And, you know, she had said that, oh, I needed a notary to do that. And I was like, no, you don't need a notary to do that. If I'm the legal parent and I'm giving you permission, and then now stuff is being said on her name that isn't true. Now stuff is being said on my name that isn't true. And dates and discrepancies and all that, it's getting really, very jumbled. And I know that I'm safe, I'm stable, I'm good, I'm at home, my bills are paid, and everything is getting taken care of on the end of if I need help, which I am getting help to handle what I need to handle, except I'm very stressed and depressed that my son is not home. And that's the medication helps, but it breaks my heart every single millisecond, however you want to go, infinity until he isn't home. And I try to piece it together every day just to put a smile on my face and be like, hey, what's up? You know, to anybody, or hey, how's it going? Or hey, you know, sending links to this YouTube live stream, which is fine. But when it's discussing matters of HIPAA, talking about Synacor, talking about the pavilion, talking about my son, like it upsets me very much that we are violating so many laws when I asked politely and the right way through you, sir, to have this hearing closed.
Okay, Mr.
Whoever,
Tara Bunker, we've covered that, and I've tried to explain it the best that I can. That the law in Texas is that court proceedings, with certain exceptions, are public. And so a virtual hearing is no different.
okay, that's
So
fine. I mean, my
you know,
higher power is God and Jesus, and I know that He
So
knows the truth.
Is there something else that you want to tell me about the health or safety or well-being of your child?
No, not that I need to say that he is safe as he is at St. Francis as he is at home.
All right, sir. Okay, Mr.
Thank you,
Hill,
miss.
you have any other questions for him?
Thank you, Judge.
No, ma'am, I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Graff.
Okay, here we go. Cross-examination. I don't think Anthony is ready for this part. He said that he was, but I don't think he does. And MB, I agree. I find that the outsourcing of CPS to private religious organizations to be a problem. But it falls right under the, outsourcing of managing difficult teenagers to other states where they have less rules about certain things. A whole nother ballgame. Anyways, let's hear it. Let's see what Eugene's got for Anthony. Let's go.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
I was a little confused. You've talked a lot about the pills that you bought. So when you tested positive again on the 28th, had you taken those pills again?
I had taken my prescription. I don't know if, like, they said someone could have broken in my home, changed the prescription. I don't know. But I know I trust my neighbors. I know I trust anyone that I've come in contact with, whether it's at work or driving down the street. I trust the city of Amarillo, but I don't know, man.
So you think the reason you tested positive on the 28th is because somebody broke in and put pills?
I mean, they're saying that's what I said, but I didn't say that.
Okay, why is it that you think you tested positive, in a totally separate test on the 28th?
I don't know.
What is the plan to address the bed bugs and the bugs in the house?
I'm waiting on the landlord. I spoke to him Friday of last week. He's supposed to be sending his maintenance guys to come spray. I have my own spray that I've sprayed. I have not seen any bed bugs until that day I went to a meeting at St. Francis, and there was one on the top of my hat.
So when you came into the St. Francis office, you had a bug or some bugs?
Oh, I'm itchy. I'm itchy now. Oh, God. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, ugh. You can say crazy ass shit to me, but ugh, don't put bugs. Ugh. Ugh.
On you?
A one bug. And believe me,
Have-
I have cleaned, I've looked through the whole house, and I have not seen any more bugs, ma'am. But
Have you punched your mother when y'all have had disagreements?
no, ma'am.
Is it normal for a child to experience law enforcement coming out on a regular basis?
No, ma'am.
Is
He
there
hasn't been. I'm sorry, go ahead.
is there a reason why you wouldn't cooperate in order to do the placement with Miss Denny?
That's not true. Who says I didn't cooperate?
Um,
He's not only a mother puncher, Mikey. He's a bug having dude. I don't even know what to call him at this point. I'm a little bit freaked out. A check mark in our midst. But also, he literally didn't he just say that somebody might have broke into his house, swapped his pills, broke into his house, possibly drugged his food with meth, or there was one other one. And he took the television away from his mom because he didn't think she should have it in the living room. And when he went to a meeting, he had visible bugs on his head. You can't write this. You actually couldn't. If you wrote this, somebody would say, you know, Paisley, you've gone too far. You shouldn't have been so over the top. It's unbelievable. Literally unbelievable.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill.
No further questions.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hill, you have any additional witnesses?
No, ma'am, I'll rest.
All right, Ms. Zabala?
I have no witnesses, Your Honor. I rest.
Okay, and Ms. Zabala, do you have a recommendation to make to the court?
I do, Your Honor. I've met with Isaiah in person. He is placed here locally in a children's home. He is doing well. First, I do believe it's in his best interest to remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. He is very interested in exploring a potential placement with Miss Denny. I understand that she had some concerns just about the temporary nature, and I understand that the department has brought up some concerns. I would love to see a home study to see if under a more formalized agreement, if placement with Miss Denny might be appropriate. I know that Isaiah was interested in us exploring that. Short of that, he is doing very well where he is, and I do recommend that placement continue until we can explore this option or any other options that might come forward.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I did have a note that I forgot to mention. If we're going to go forward, I would request a CASA in this case, if at all possible. I know sometimes they have a wait list.
All right, I'm making it. Okay. I'd like to have a quick bench conference with the attorneys. Let's see.
MB, I have
I'm
a
just gonna
question
move
about
everybody-
bench conferences. Do they go back and speak quite frankly, like, your client's fucking nuts, bro? Or is it a little just like out in the courtroom, or is it like more direct when you have a bench conference or you're off the record? I'm hoping that they're like, hey, listen, this guy's fucked in the head, so we're gonna have to do something here. It's direct. Perfect. See, and I want, that's the difference between being a real lawyer and just playing one on TV once in a while.
Judge,
First,
Judge
she's
is
in
not
a
here.
breakout room with the attorneys, so she can't hear you. They'll be right back.
okay, well, I'm gonna stop my video and mute my phone.
Okay.
He's gonna go check out the YouTube live stream. Remember, during this video at the beginning, he actually asked the judge for the link to the YouTube. She gave it to him verbally. He went and visited it, commented on how many people were watching and how few likes she had gotten on the video. That's in part 1 of this video, by the way, which is from a few days ago. Anyone from North Carolina? Is that what NC stands for? I imagine so. Don't you know Mikey, Covey Clown? Brenda dropped off. Look how long they were talking directly. They're doing all the shit back there, huh?
Probably no harm in that. I'll put y'all in there so you know what's kind of going on.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to go in there.
Thank you.
Judge, it's not fair.
Clicked leave and I thought it was me leaving the room and it kicked me completely out of the meeting.
No problem. It happens all the time.
Hold on. Hitting leave is not it kicking you out, by the way. That's not how that works. Don't worry, I got the rest of this hearing. The judge makes her ruling and we will have it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It happens with people who've been doing this for years and years.
Thank you, Judge.
That's not really true. People don't leave the hearings like that. She's lying to him. Allegedly, in my opinion. Allegedly, in my opinion. Oh, what is he saying, though? I don't want to skip it because I feel like he's going to say something dumb. Let's just let him play us out while I find the other video. Yeah, we're watching it all tonight. It's only like another 10 minutes. The judge comes out and rules. I just can't remember if it was before or after. He looks puffy-faced and swollen, like he took some meth. A little bit of meth. Just a little bit of meth right now. But how, oh how? He doesn't know how he got the meth. Remember, somebody could have broken in. He also could have taken it by pill by
Okay, I'm
accident.
just getting his pots moved back in.
No, pot wasn't really the problem, Judge. It was more the cocaine and the meth.
All right, Mr. Groff, Mr. Hill has indicated that his client is willing to look at what we are talking about. And if Ms. Denny, for some reason that doesn't work out, he would like the opportunity to submit another name or two, which is, fine, as long as we can get that pretty timely. So I want to give this sufficient time to see if we can't get this resolved. What kind of time frame does the department need to try to visit with Ms. Denny and?
I think we would like at least a week. St. Francis, who until Your Honor issues a final ruling, I guess our position is St. Francis is still involved, and so I think St. Francis has indicated they would prefer 2 weeks. And my client, I would also just put on the record, my client would like to do the walkthrough, but also, if there are concerns, reserve the right to at least, put any objection on the record when we reconvene.
The mom's dead. Miss Denny is Brittany, and she's the friend that's had the kid every time they've yoinked him out of the dad's custody since. And also, look at my Coke can. It says bestie on it. Meilleur ami. I can't speak French. I can't. And grandma seems to be crazy. So this kid has terrible odds. I feel so sad about it.
If that's okay with Your Honor.
Sure. So are we talking about 1 week or 2 weeks?
I think the preference would be 2, if we could have 2 weeks.
That's a long time to leave it kind of hanging fire. Let's see if we can't, let me just,
We could do 1 week if we need to, Your Honor.
let me just kind of look at the calendar real quickly. Hang on.
I have 3 drinks
Miss
beside me, so
Katie
they're going to
is-
give him a chance here.
We're talking about possibly doing this as a court ordered service case, so they need a little time to look at this possible placement, which would be a voluntary placement by the father. Okay, let's look. I'd have to either do it next Tuesday on the 1st, or
Canada Day, July
we could
1st.
go as far as the 8th if y'all think you're gonna need that much time.
I don't know that so much. I mean, I'll defer to Ms. Brown on that. I could live with the 1st, but I know she had some concerns about potentially needing to go to the 8th. In light of this sort of unusual format, though, I think we could get by with the 1st.
Let's do this. I mean, let's try to reconvene on the 1st. Is that feasible if we need to reconvene on the 1st? And y'all can just let me know. We can put something on the calendar. If you need it, great. If you don't need it, and we can do it by email.
Yeah.
Super. Won't drag everybody else back in here. If you need a little more time, then we could probably cover that by email too. So we're probably talking about, if we're gonna set it, it'd be that afternoon, like at 1 o'clock. But if you need more time, communicate that to us. We can probably handle that by email. If we need a record of something or need to all get on Zoom, then we'll do it like at 1 o'clock on the 1st. But maybe we don't even need it, or she's saying maybe 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30. That would sure work good for me, Judge. I can't really do the morning.
And Mr. Hill's client just indicated he would like to do the 8th, not the 1st. I don't know if everybody saw that, but he just put that in the chat.
Do you have a conflict on the 1st, sir?
There's no conflict. Well, yeah, let's go with the 1st, Your Honor.
I just kind of, I don't want to leave it just hanging. And if somebody's got good reason why then we need to push it past the 1st, I'll certainly look at that.
Well, just so Isaiah could be back with either Miss Denny or someone that I can find before that so I can celebrate the 4th of July with him.
So, let's shoot for the first, see where we're at,
Yes, ma'am.
and then we'll try to make it happen. Obviously it's better for Isaiah that if we can do this, the sooner the better.
Yes, ma'am. That was my thoughts, but I was thinking something different in my head that has nothing to do with dates. I apologize.
It's okay. All right. I'm, the goal here is to do what's best for Isaiah. So, all right, let's see if we can't kind of get all the pieces put together in the puzzle by the first, and y'all can communicate to us and let us know kind of where we're at and whether we need to do that on the first or not. And then I hope it'll work out.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anything that you can suggest that I could do to expedite the sooner the better that Isaiah is in the care of someone?
Well, we got to determine who that's going to be first. And then, the main thing is just stay in contact with your lawyer, stay in contact, take the department, people's phone calls, let's all work together to see if we can't make this work.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm just going to recess and reserve any ruling in this matter until we have just a little bit of time to see what we can resolve.
He doesn't understand what's about to happen. He thinks it's going to be like the last time, but it's going to be different this time because did you hear the little part where they said court ordered conservatorship? See, that's different than when he does it, even if it is voluntary, because once it's done, the court's going to be involved and he's going to need to prove his sobriety. There will be no more people allowed to be breaking into his house and drugging his mashed potatoes or whatever it is. And Miss Denny, bless her, by the way, obviously at least the one good thing that we have in his life, the child's life, is gonna be backed up, and oh, thank you, Jonathan, no bugs, and Miss Denny's gonna go ahead and be backed up by CPS here, that Dad's gonna have to follow through. Now, this is where cases can get shuffled. It's concerning. The judge doesn't want that. She's putting this very quickly back on the docket. July 1st, that's like a week away. That is very quick turnaround time in court world. That is almost unheard of, especially not in criminal court. So, no bugs. I thought this was America. Freedom. What the fuck?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. I sure appreciate everybody's time today. Thank you all very much, and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you back on the first, or we'll at least communicate about it before then.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. So I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I will be back on tomorrow in the morning, because I think Mikey's going away, so he's leaving us with no Friday entertainment on the evening. Terribly sad, but I can't help. I'll be back on Saturday to entertain the masses, but with tits and asses, as my brain thinks of the rhyme. I do it all the time. Anywho, I hope that you guys have a really great night. It'll be tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. We'll do a show, so that's 10 Pacific. Keep it in mind. If you can be here, I'd love to see you. Anyways, do me a favor in the meantime. Saturday, I don't know yet, probably the evening, Vicky. But we will see, we will see. Anyways, do me a favor. In the meantime, go ahead and like the video. Oh my gosh, I forgot my own little spiel. somebody has to hit the outro. No, I don't usually read it, but do me a favor, remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. That was it. I remembered. Okay, bye.
Down and ready to ride.